Salute, everyone. Salute. Well, we're down to three. We are down to three teams. The Texas Longhorns, the Ohio State Buckeyes, and awaiting the winner, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Salute. Good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone's had a blessed, safe, and productive Friday here today. Here on my end, on our end here in Georgia, we had a white winter day. And I hope everyone that's in the Southeast area is being safe and staying warm, stay inside, and enjoy this semifinal game tonight. Let me salute the chat here real quick. CP3, salute to you, brother, and salute the beautiful, the gorgeous, misunderstood. Salute. And now, let me just say this to all my fellow Californians out there. We're praying for you, and that is a very, very terrible situation that's going on. Our thoughts and prayers are with you out there. Those of you that are dealing with those wildfires, a lot of people lost their homes and personal belongings. A couple of people lost their lives behind those fires. I don't know what the count is. The last time I heard it was 2 people had lost their lives behind those wildfires. But our thoughts and prayers are with you all. Salute to my co-host here, D True. Salute. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Yeah, just relaxing, bro. That's all I'm doing, just relax. You know how it go.
Yes, sir. Trying to stay warm, trying to stay out of this weather, huh?
I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna go outside anyway, regardless if it's snow or not. I'm going outside anyway, so it really didn't matter.
I feel you, bro.
But it's like this right here. And but people just come up and say, "Oh, people in the South can't drive in those snow, no, I can't drive that weather." But the problem is, it ain't the snow, it's the ice. I ain't never seen nobody driving no ice. So when you always say that, I ain't seen nobody driving ice. I don't care where you at. So be careful out there.
Exactly, especially at nighttime with that black ice, especially at nighttime. Well, we could start with the top story here that occurred here earlier today, as I reported yesterday on the dog call. Let me get the ticker here together for you all. As you all can recall, I reported on the dog call yesterday that Carson Beck entered the transfer portal. He will definitely. At first, he had stated after the injury in the SEC championship game, sometime before the surgery, that he was going to declare for the NFL. Okay, so everyone was under the assumption that he was headed to the NFL. So yesterday evening, it comes out that he's transferring from Georgia. That he entered the transfer portal yesterday, And earlier today, it was announced that he signed with Miami. He signed a very lucrative NIL deal with Miami. He's actually making more starting for Miami than say whoever if you are a second or third round quarterback and you so happen to look up and start in the NFL, let's just say Will Levis. He's making more money than Will Levis is. Will Levis is projected he's making 900, a little over 900,000. That's his contract, a little over 900,000. Carson Beck will be clearing 4 million. 4 million in NIL money. And I'm gonna start with you on that, D Truth, and you tell me your feelings. How do you feel about that as far as Carson Beck, changing his mind? He declared for the NFL, and then he, changed his mind and decided to come back, and then he signed with Miami today for 4 million. How do you feel about that? Those terms.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. He graduated. This was his senior year, right, at Georgia. So he graduated, and he got one extra year. So if he feel like he wasn't ready for the NFL, he got the right to come back. And guess what? He did what he can for Georgia. He got his education. He got a good education at Georgia. So he graduated. So he got way better no schooling. So going to Miami, and I look at the competition in the ACC is not as tough as the competition in the SEC. So he got a chance. Either he gonna prove his stock in the draft for 2026,
Mm-hmm.
or his stock gonna suffer, in 2026. Because I think Omar Boy, who was what the number 4 quarterback on the board for
Mm-hmm.
Omar Board. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Either he gonna prove it or he could flop. So, if me personally, I want to say this right here. It's a hard decision for him, especially how his season ended. You know what I'm saying? On the shelf. So I can understand why he came back, and I can understand why he transferred because he see a future at Georgia. Gardner Stocker, they got another quarterback, so it chance of likely starting is slim to none. But I understand why he came back, and I understand why he went to Miami. So good luck to Carson Beck, and guess what? At least he had a upward way. For somebody like him to transfer is unlike some of the other players that transfer because I don't like this coach, I don't like this team, the coach got fired, whatever, and they transfer. At least he don't finish school and playing. They're just playing and playing. It's, it's just playing because
Well,
probably another game of football. So
okay. Okay. He had graduated. He actually graduated last year. He actually graduated last year. You made some great points. Salute to you, Alpha Buckeye. Salute to you, Sikkim. Salute to you, Lisa Sims. Everyone, this is a playoff edition of Road to Atlanta. I have the link pinned in the chat. Anyone want to come up on the panel with us and join us this evening? You're more than welcome. If you would like to comment on the game and or on today's events with Carson Beck, you made some great points. He number one, he graduated. Okay. Number two, he wasn't NFL ready. And I'm not just saying that because of the injury. I remember I was saying that you've been up here with me every Saturday mornings and then Saturday nights. Me, you, Sniper, you knew. You've heard me say repeatedly that he wasn't ready. He wasn't NFL ready. His drop staff was slipping, and I'm speaking before the injury. This has nothing to do with the injury. Um, I think it was a good move. If he wasn't ready for the NFL. He was gonna come back, go to a different conference, where it's more because his style of play is just not for the SEC. I just feel like in order to survive as a quarterback in the SEC, you have to be dual threat. In my opinion, you got to be able to move around the pocket. You got to be somewhat mobile. You can't just be a statue in the pocket because you will get hurt. You will get hurt in the SEC just standing there in the pocket and being a statue. So I honestly think he made the right move. Miami is a good landing spot. The only thing I disagree with, he's not worth $4 million. he in my opinion, he is not worth $4 million.
But you gotta look at this. Who Miami got that quarterback? They just you see what I'm saying?
Hold up. They have a good recruiting class coming in, and there are some there were some quarterbacks that were in the portal. There were some quarterbacks. Colorado got one. Salters could have went to Miami and started. Now Salters, in my opinion, I think he would be worth somewhere around $3-4 million. Okay. The kid y'all got, Jackson Arnold. Now he may be worth like $3 million or whatever, but Carson Beck, non-mobile, he's not going to extend plays. Put it like this. If you have him as your quarterback, you have to have an elite O-line to protect him because he's not mobile. He's going to stand there in the pocket, and you have to have elite receivers. You're going to have some Brock Bowers or some Ladd McConkeys or some A.D. Mitchells, Rosemary St. Jacks. You're going to have some elite receivers around him. And see, that's the thing now. You're spending $4 million on him. And I don't know what Miami's ceiling is. They're not breaking bread like Ohio State. But I don't know what Miami's ceiling is, but that's $4 million off the table. That's $4 million off the table. So you got to put an O-line around him, and they got to go out and get some elite receivers. There's all the good receivers, the elite receivers, they're out of the portal. They're out of the portal. Auburn's got between Auburn, Georgia, Oregon, and Texas A&M and Florida. All the elite receivers are out the portal. Tennessee can't even. There's not even any left for Tennessee. I hear Tennessee podcasters are very upset because they was hoping to get Branch or Thomas to go along with the Nico. So you got Beck, but you need pieces around him. He's not that quarterback that's gonna come in and do what Riley Leonard is doing for Notre Dame. He is not that quarterback that's going to come in with average talent and take you to a national championship or to the national championship game.
Yeah, but you got to look at this too. Not only the receivers, right? Yeah, you got to have a receiver, but you got to have a running game. Got to have a running game. That's the problem I see with some teams. They do not have a running game. And Miami running game with what? Cam Ward? Come on, we gotta have a running back. Then you gotta have an O-line. So there's a lot of fixes Miami need to be done in Miami, though. We gotta look at it. They got a lot of fixes they need to be doing. So you gotta start with a quarterback. Now you gotta get a running back, gotta get an offensive line, gotta get wide receivers. So we're gonna find out what they do. I hope they do better at recruiting than they did in the transfer portal. Because I don't understand why they waited till the last minute to try to go get a quarterback.
Well, my thing is, they look. It's not like they are ranked in the top 10 in recruiting or in the top 5 in recruiting, and it's not like they're loaded on the O-line. Now they have a decent O-line. Don't get me wrong, they have a decent O-line, but it's only good enough. That O-line, even the O-line they had around Cam Ward, when you face an aggressive defense that likes to blitz, like Georgia Tech, Brent Key, he's a blitzing style coach. He likes to dial up blitzes, and when Georgia Tech went to dialing up blitzes, there was nothing Cam Ward could do because the protection broke down. The protection in the pocket broke down. So, and Cam Ward can move. Cam Ward is what you call a true dual threat. Cam Ward, I mean, he's great in the pocket. He stood in the pocket more this past season and made plays, made tremendous plays. But if he was in trouble or got in a jam or whatever, he had to improvise. He was able to do that. Carson Beck does not give you that. He does not give you that. I wish him well, but I think Miami overpaid. Perfect fit, great fit, great fit. ACC, Miami, he's down there with his girlfriend. And I just want to make a correction. Yesterday I said volleyball or soccer team, but she actually plays basketball. She plays basketball. She's a model and she's a TikToker. She's a jack of all trades. Perfect fit. I just feel like they overpaid. They really reached for that. I think they could have got him. Go ahead.
I'm at this question right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think his decision not to enter the NFL draft had to do with her being down there, him? It has something to do with her and the money being at Miami, or or him just thinking, "Oh, I'm not ready for the NFL."
Okay, I didn't want to go there, but you forcing my hand. You forcing my hand.
Hey, you already know who I am. I look
You
into
taking
it
me
like
down
that.
that rabbit hole, and I have no choice but to go down that rabbit hole with you. And I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm not going to BS our followers. I'm not going to BS our listeners. I'm going to go and shoot it plain and simple to you. After the Orange Bowl, he was projected to be a first rounder, a slam dunk first rounder. I'm not saying he would have been the first one to come off the board, but he would have went. He would have went, because look at it like this now. Penix. Okay, so after Penn, I think he would have went somewhere after Penix. I really do believe he would have been picked before Bo Nix in that draft last year. And I think that was his biggest mistake. Returning to Georgia in 2024 was his biggest mistake. I think he was hot. I think he made the same mistake that Sam Bradford made in 2008. Instead of going on into the draft, he came back in 2009 trying to be the hero and take Oklahoma to a national championship. And even though a couple of pieces were missing and had went on in the NFL or had graduated, he was trying to be a hero. I really don't think he wanted to leave her behind. I'm just being honest with you, D Truth. I don't think he wanted to leave her behind, go on into the NFL, and leave her behind. Because so she's attending Miami right now. He would have already been playing pros by now. In the NFL city, playing NFL. And who knows what would have happened? He probably would have met another young lady and would have ended up marrying her. I think she was a part of the reason that he decided to come back to Georgia. I think she was a part of I think she was a big reason for him to decide to come back in 2024. I think she's a part of the reason this time. The main reason is he's not a first rounder. And you know this, Detroit, if you're not a first rounder, you're going to be getting banana money. You're going to be getting banana money. The days of being a second, third round quarterback and getting a couple of million in your pocket, those days are gone. You're going to be getting somewhere between 800, 900,000. The injury had also had a little bit to do with that, made his draft stock drop. But like I said at the top of the show, his performance and the interceptions is really what did his draft stock in. His draft stock was dropping heading into the SEC championship game and amongst other the behavior off the field. For those of you that don't know, if you're not in tune to what was going on SEC championship week leading up to SEC championship week, his phone had got hacked into and some inappropriate pictures that he was sexting to his girl had gotten out publicly. and he had the answer for that. Um, his then the statement that he does not like to watch football and he does not like to watch film. I think that also put a bad taste in a lot of GM's mouths as well. So um, coming back in 2024 to Georgia did him more harm than good. He rolled the dice, and I think he crapped out. He should have went into the draft after the Orange Bowl, after the Florida State game. He should have went directly on into the draft. I think also that move cost Georgia. It cost Georgia Dylan Raiola. Had Dylan Raiola would have kept his commitment and would have came on to Georgia, I really honestly think Raiola would have gotten with the team. He would have fit in. He would have won the starting job, and we might be sitting here talking about the winner of Ohio State, Texas, will be playing Georgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. For all the people out there, because you get picked the first round, one, two, three, okay, double, 32, whatever, in the first round, don't mean a damn thing. I'm going to put it that way. Don't mean a thing. You just got to pick the first round. You're gonna make more money than the second, third, fourth round, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the first rounder could be a bust.
Mm-hmm.
Be showing out in college, but get to the NFL. What usually happens? So
Sometimes it's not usual because a lot of times
yeah,
the first round picks turned out to be first round material. Let's take a look at the last year's draft. Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Penix, they all doing well. We can look at the year before. It's been more. You've had more hits than misses when it comes to first round draft picks with QBs. Have we had some buzz? Yes, but it's been uh more hits than misses. That's a totality.
yeah. Yeah, it all depends on what team that drafted in the offensive scheme that they have with that quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like I said, I don't care if high school, college, or pros.
Mm-hmm.
That's the offensive coordinator, head
Mm-hmm. Okay, your audio, your audio's messing up.
to feel like, oh, why this ain't working? You got just to adjust your playbook to the type of players you have. I don't care, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. I do not care. Adjust your playbook to the kind of player that you have on your team. And that's why I think some teams get a mixed up at.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why you have some hits and some misses. That's even in my name college, hits and misses. So I'm gonna wish him luck down at Miami
Mm-hmm.
and do what you can. And like I said, the ACC is not like the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
It should. We're gonna see what they do. Like I said, they got to get the offensive line. Not a man. They got to,
Mm-hmm.
and they got to get them. And they got to get about two good running backs to back them up.
Yeah, that's what.
You know what
That's what I had said earlier. They're going to put some pieces around him in order for that to work because Carson Beck he's not Riley Leonard. He's not going to come in
Mm-mm.
and as that your quote unquote franchise quarterback. That's pretty much what he signed up for. They signed him like a franchise quarterback. He is not that guy. He needs elite pieces around him, elite pieces on the O line, an elite center. Definitely, you better get him a damn good left tackle. You better get him a damn good left tackle. The running game is not because hell, he had a running game. In my opinion, he had a running game this year. Nate Frazier and Trevor Etienne had a running game this year. The running backs don't have nothing to do with the interceptions, and you're gonna have to get him some elite receivers, preferably some fast ones and some that can jump because his deep balls downfield are not accurate. Whoever the receivers are, they're gonna jump, twist their bodies all different kinds of ways, and make things happen. So I wish him well. I just think they overpaid him. So let's move on to tonight's game. Salute to you, 225 girl. And we can start off. She said, go dolls, those damn leprechauns. Or you know what? Like I said earlier, for those of you that are not subbed up to my uncut channel, I did a little walk out by the lake in the snow and ice today, and I was talking about the game briefly, tonight's game and last night's game. Notre Dame is the team of destiny. They've earned my respect. I didn't respect them before Indiana or after Indiana. I didn't respect them before the Georgia game. I was a little bit of respect for them after the Georgia game, but they didn't get Georgia at full strength. You're up here twice, brother. They didn't get Georgia at full strength. So they got my respect last night. They fell behind. Because I wanted to see how they could handle adversity. I wanted to see how they could handle adversity, meaning falling behind and having to come from behind. And they did it twice last night. Not one time, but twice. Another thing we found out about Notre Dame, if something does happen to Leonard, because Leonard's style of play is very reckless, if something does happen to him, they have a damn good backup. The backup came in and played darn good. The backup came in and played damn good. So Notre Dame is that team of destiny. Kind of puts me in the mind of, and I made a comparison to Notre Dame's run, this year's Notre Dame's run, to a March Madness run done years ago by NC State. NC State, and those of you that don't know the story, Jim Valvano, Derek Wittenberg, Thurl Bailey, Rob Lowe, they were the Cinderella team. They was the Cinderella team. They barely got in the tournament, and when they got in the tournament, they got hot. They went on an epic run, a run that we've never seen before, beating Ralph Sampson and the Virginia Cavaliers. Then they went into the Final Four and beat my Georgia Bulldogs, beat UNLV in the Sweet 16, and then went in the Final Four, beat my Georgia Bulldogs, Vern Fleming and company, and then went on to the finals and faced arguably, and people to this day say that this is one of the greatest basketball teams, one of the greatest college basketball teams of all time that never won a national title. That Phi Slamma Jamma 83 Houston Cougars team and that NC State team, they took it to them. They took it to them and they beat them in the finals. A lot of people are comparing the Ohio State Buckeyes to the Phi Slamma Jamma team and this Notre Dame team to that NC State team. This Notre Dame team is the team of destiny. They're the team of destiny, and they're going to be hard to beat. Whoever the winner is tonight, they are going to be facing a hungry team, a team that is a team. Those guys in that Notre Dame locker room, they're not just teammates. They're like brothers. They are on the same page. They play their asses off for each other, and they fight hard for each other. So that team is going to be hard to beat, very hard to beat. Sikkim says, when Notre Dame QB got hit hard, I was thinking he wasn't coming back to finish the game. I'm going to be honest with you. That backup is no joke. Notre Dame's that kid came in the game and went 7 for 7. He went 7 for 7. He was perfect. No incompletions. He came in looking like Dan Marino, and he has a quick release because Abdullah Carter and the other guy, number 41, that Penn State line, when the backup came in, they were dialing up blitzes. They were dialing up blitzes on that kid, but the problem was the kid has a quick release. Now, if I'm Marcus Freeman, I'm not spending a whole lot of money in the transfer portal, or if another quarterback just so happen to become available, I'm not spending a whole lot of money on the quarterback. Marcus Freeman, you got your quarterback. You got your quarterback already. That backup looks damn good. And look, even if Riley Leonard wouldn't have came back in the game, I can say this with confidence. Notre Dame would have still won that game with that backup. Because that Penn State secondary had no answer. They had no answer for that backup. Backup was damn good, Sikkim. And that's the thing about Marcus Freeman. This is what makes him so good of a coach. Salute to you, G. Bama. Happy Friday to you, brother. Welcome to the broadcast. This what makes Marcus Freeman, from this point forward, he's on his way. He's going to become a great college football coach if he stays in college. I can see him going to the NFL because his style of coaching could work in the NFL because he's not a control freak. He's the type of coach that don't mind working with his assistants and letting his assistants do their job. He's not like Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. He's kind of more like a Pete Carroll, where he'll let his assistants do their job. He's a head coach, but I can see him being a manager of an NFL ball club as well, managing the team. That's what NFL coaches do. They don't have that power and control like a college football coach will have, but you got to have managing skills in order to survive as an NFL head coach. But Marcus Freeman has something damn good there at Notre Dame. And remember, all this playoff money Notre Dame getting, the Indiana game, the Georgia game, the Sugar Bowl, and the Orange Bowl last night, they don't have to split that with nobody. Like Penn State would have had to split it with the rest of the Big Ten, and Georgia had to split the Sugar Bowl money with the rest of the SEC. Notre Dame ain't got to split nothing with nobody. They get every dime to themselves. That means more money.
Gone to the other sports.
Yes, sir. More money.
More money to NAM, more money to other sports. And you know when you get more money to other sports, you know that the money's going to get good.
Exactly. Your audio just need tweaking just a little bit. Sound like you're underwater. Tutu Bagger said, what will it take for James Franklin to finally win that big one? He just can't seem to get over the hump. James Franklin blew that game last night. James Franklin, I'm coming straight out saying it to you. Every Penn State fan that's listening to me, James Franklin blew that game last night. There's no way in hell in that situation. You knew Drew Aller was having a bad night. Drew Aller had a bad night. He played terrible last night. There's no way in the two previous passes that he had thrown should have been interceptions. The penalty saved them when they scored the last touchdown, when Kaiser intercepted the ball in the end zone. Drew Aller is that's James Franklin should have. They was having success on the ground. They should have kept the ball on the ground. Allen and Singleton were killing that Notre Dame defense. That Notre Dame defense and that Penn State O-line, those big O-linemen, they was bullying that Notre Dame defensive front. They had no answer for them. Why the hell would you call that type of pass play at that moment in time? James Franklin blew that game last night for Penn State, unfortunately. I'm going to be honest with you, 225 girl. He may be the Marv Levy of college football. Good enough to get you in the playoffs, good enough to get you to a Big Ten title game, maybe good enough to get you a Big Ten champion, but he's not a national championship coach. He's not. He just makes dumb calls at the wrong time.
Yeah. And the thing, but let's look at the elephant in the room right now. Let's take a look at this game tonight. Who the more pressure on, Stark or Ryan Day? I think it's more pressure on Ryan Day right now, right?
Right
The
now,
more
right
pressure.
now. Well, I would say right now it's definitely on Ryan Day because Ryan Day has. I mean, come on, look at it. He's been. You go back to 19, 19. They blew a 16-point lead to Clemson. 20, they lost to Bama. That was a pandemic year. I give them a pass for that. Okay. Then you go to 21. They choked against Michigan, a game that they should have won. All right. They also choked earlier that season against Oregon in the regular season. All right. Then you go to 2022. And that is the year, in my opinion, that is the year that they choked back to back. They had no business losing at home to Michigan in the horseshoe. And they had my Georgia Bulldogs beat. They had us beat, bro. I had pretty much, I was ready to go live and take my, medicine and eat some humble pie that night. Because I just knew when they went up by a touchdown and the field goal, I knew it was over. So when they had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. Salute to you, Renrock. They had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. Let me respond to what G. Bama said. G. Bama said James Franklin has never had a good QB. Until he gets one, he's doomed. Well, G. Bama, you just proved my point there. Why? I mean, we're in the NIL transfer portal era. Why he does not get a QB out the transfer portal? Why doesn't he get a QB out the transfer portal? That's a good question, G. Bama. Every other coach has went in the transfer portal besides Dabo Swinney. Every other coach has went in the transfer portal and got some quarterback. Why
you're right.
Why James Franklin can't go in the portal and get a decent quarterback? All these good quarterbacks that have come available in the transfer portal. Why he can't get a QB out the transfer portal?
And I'm gonna say this right here. We talking about James Franklin, right? Mm-hmm. Look at what Ryan Davis done the last few years. He seems like he can't win the big one.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's gonna sting he gonna sting a little bit if he loses to Texas tonight. Well, Ryan, he's gonna sting a little bit. But if he goes on the national championship and loses Notre Dame, we talked about this on the back end, and loses that game too, that last game of the year against Michigan, it's gonna be hard, even bigger. And what fans gonna be talking for his head? They gonna be so far because of his head if he loses to Texas, like if he loses the national championship game. Unless he loses to Texas at this last game to the first game of the year they play Texas and lose there. Oh, he in trouble. We talked about this on the back end, bro. That pressure. Go ahead.
I looked at the bracket, okay, and I said to myself, he got to beat Tennessee. He got to beat Oregon because Oregon is going to be considered a big game. Tennessee, you at home. You can't lose. You can't be one and done and get knocked out of the first round at home. So those two were must wins. But I looked at it. So if he so happens to meet up with Texas in the Cotton Bowl, this is the game that he could lose and get a pass. Here's why. This will be the best defense that Ohio State has faced probably since Michigan in 2023. Not Michigan 2024, Michigan 2023. This will be the first real elite defense and secondary that Ohio State has seen all season. Let's keep it a bean now. Tennessee got a good defense, but it ain't elite. It was not elite. It was not elite. Come on now. That's the same defense that let Carson Beck run around. It had Carson Beck looking like Johnny Manziel. I mean, come on. But that Texas defense, being that my Georgia Bulldogs had to go to war with them twice this season. Them boys can hit, and that secondary is no joke. They got the Thorpe Award winner in the secondary, Barron, and they have some great pass rushers. They got some ferocious pass rushers. Anthony Hill is a Butkus Award finalist. That Texas defense is no joke. And that defensive coordinator is a defensive guru. So this will be a challenge for Ohio State. If they fail to challenge, I think he'll get a little pass. He'll get the benefit of the doubt that he beat Oregon, that he beat Tennessee. Now, however, the words of Vincent Turner, however, if he wins this game tonight, okay, and you also got to factor in this is pretty much a de facto home game for Texas because the game is in Arlington. If they win this game tonight and he comes down here to Atlanta, the same site where they choked a 17-point fourth quarter lead to my Georgia Bulldogs, he wins this game tonight, that Ohio State fan base is going to expect him to win in Atlanta because this is a team that Ohio State has owned for over a quarter of a century. Notre Dame has not beaten Ohio State since the 80s. If I'm not correct, if I'm correct now, the last time Notre Dame has a victory over Ohio State, you got to go back to the 80s or maybe even the early 90s or something like that. It's been a long time since Notre Dame has beaten Ohio State. This is a team that his predecessors have owned. John Cooper owned Notre Dame. Jim Tressel owned Notre Dame. Urban Meyer owned Notre Dame. So Ryan Day is like it's like my Georgia Bulldogs playing Kentucky in the national championship. A team that we've owned this century. A team that we have dominated this century, and we get them in the national championship game and lose to them? It can't go down like that. It cannot go down like that. G. Bama boy says, y'all think OSU is elite? Right now, they're playing elite. I think let me explain it to you. Because I used to try to explain this to Sniper every Saturday. They're elite on paper. Talent for talent. You cannot deny that Ohio State on paper that they're not elite. On paper, they are definitely elite. They are elite on paper. The problem is they don't play elite football every Saturday. They play around. They play down to their competition. Chip Kelly can come out there one Saturday and look like a genius offensive play caller. And then like he did against Indiana, call all the right plays and look like a damn genius. And then the following week against Michigan, I don't know what the hell kind of play calling that was. That's the issue. And I think that's what you're referring to, G. Bama. But on paper, they are elite. But do they play elite every time they hit? Do they put it like this? What separates them from teams like that 01 Hurricane team and that 04 Trojan team and that 2019 LSU team, they weren't elite the entire year. Those teams I just named, they were elite the entire year. And I can also throw in that 95 Nebraska team as well. 225 girls said, will you root for Texas from a conference pride standpoint or not really from what I heard from they said? You know what? I don't give a damn about all that SEC rooting for the SEC. I don't give a damn about that. That SEC, I only care about my Georgia Bulldogs. Anything, 225, anything outside of Athens, I could give a damn about. Really. I really don't have a dog in the fight tonight. It could, Ohio State, Texas. I don't hate Texas. I'll say this to Fat Girl. I don't hate Texas. I don't hate Ohio State. I'm just looking forward to a good game. But I have a feeling one of the other is going to blow the other out. Either Texas will end up blowing Ohio State out, or Ohio State will end up blowing Texas out. But one of the two, somebody going to blow somebody out, because I don't see both semifinal games being competitive. But I could be wrong, because in 2022, both semifinal games were competitive. So,
Hey, I'm going to say this right here.
Mm-hmm.
From my record, while I was gone, I was doing my research, right? The last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State, it's almost 8 decades, bro. 8 decades. October 31st, 1936.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that would be very, very embarrassing. That's why I said, if Ryan Day is going to mess this up, it would be better for him to mess it up tonight than to mess it up in Atlanta on the 20th, because all eyes are going to be on him. Listen to me, Ohio State fans. No Michigan, no Bama, no Georgia, no Clemson, no Oregon standing in your way. No Florida. I'm just naming teams that gives Ohio State problems outside of the Big Ten. None of the big boys are standing in your way. The only team that's standing in your way, if you beat Texas tonight, the only team that's standing in your way is a little old Notre Dame, an undersized Notre Dame team with a bunch of 3 stars. 3 stars and a few transfers that are getting second chances. While you are coming with a $20 million roster. Go ahead.
He coming. Hey, Ohio State coming like the Yankees, ain't they?
Man, I'm glad this would be like the 03 World Series, where the Yankees had almost $1 billion roster, and the Florida Marlins had a whole bunch of farm club players, had the lowest team budget in the major leagues, and ended up going to the World Series and sweeping the Yankees. That's exactly what this would look like. Ryan Day, look, like I said, no Bama, no Georgia, no Michigan, no Oregon, no Clemson. Beat Texas tonight. It shouldn't be nothing in your way. It's just like that song that came out back in the days. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. That's exactly the way every Ohio State fan should feel. They can get out of Arlington tonight with a victory.
We're not saying it's gonna be easy. We're not gonna say it's gonna be easy. That's a central home game for Texas.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the keys to victory. What? No, I'm gonna start with you, okay? Because we got a few minutes left. Your keys to victory for Texas and Ohio State.
I'm gonna start with Ohio State first. I'm gonna go through Texas last. Ohio State, Will Howard, got to keep Will Howard upright. The receivers got to catch the ball, got to run the ball with Will Howard. And it's going to come down to the Ohio State defense. And the one key point I heard you talk about Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, you got to open that playbook up. You got to open that playbook up. And don't be and open the playbook up. When I mean open the playbook up, don't try to run some trick plays that that probably ain't gonna get you nowhere but lose you some yardage. Don't try to be smart about it. Just run the plays that you gonna run and run it and run it. And don't try to outsmart yourself. And that's one thing Chip Kelly used to try to do outsmart yourself, overthink things. And that's gonna be the key to Ohio State right there. And Texas, keep doing what you're doing. Run the ball, play good defense. Yeah, you got a damn good special team, punt return, kick return team. And start, you gotta do what I just told about Chip Kelly. Don't get too fancy. Don't overthink the ball game. You gotta open up that playbook. Because this one of y'all two teams' last game. So ain't no use holding it back. There you go.
Okay, my keys to victory for I'm gonna start off with Texas. My keys to victory for Texas is apply the pressure on defense. You got to play that defensive coordinator got to call the game of his life tonight. You got to win the third down battle, get Ohio State off the field. I wouldn't be afraid to play man on Jeremiah Smith. You got put Barron on him. Put Barron on Jeremiah Smith and put Makumba on Abuka. I think Texas has the secondary to match up with these Buckeyes wideouts, and you want to dial up blitzes. Dial up blitzes on Will Howard. Listen, I'm not talking about sending no 4 men and 5 men. You got to send 6 and 7. Get him rattled, throw him off of his game. You got to do what Michigan did. You got to rattle him early, and get him off of his game. Kind of like what Notre Dame did to Drew Aller last night. You got to get that running game going. You got to get Wisner going. If you get Wisner going, hey, look out. Texas will be in business. Texas will be in business if they can pull that off. Quinn Ewers has to settle down. Don't hold on to the ball. Get rid of the damn ball. Throw the ball out of bounds if you have to. Taking sacks. You can't be taking no 10 and 12-yard sacks tonight. You got to get the ball out of your hands and have some pocket awareness. Right? He's the victor for Ohio State. If you're going to blitz Quinn Ewers, you better get to him. Because if you don't, he's going to burn you. And I'm just saying this because I know the Ohio State defensive coordinator, he loves the blitz. He did a lot of blitzing on Oregon. That worked with Dylan Gabriel because Dylan Gabriel has a slow release. Quinn Ewers has a quick release. A quick release. We tried to blitz him all day in the SEC championship game. We should have had more sacks than what we did. But, you know, the guy has a quick release. So you blitz him, you better get to him. Because if you don't, he will burn you down the field. He will burn you down the field. So, and you got to get that. Same goes for Ohio State. Ohio State has to get that running game going. Henderson, Henderson got to get going. He got to get going. Got to get that running game going.
Yeah, and like you just said, like I just said, hey, put all them together. That is look like all 3 facets of the ball game got to be working for both teams. That what it sound like to me. That what it sound like to me. So, but GG 225 girl, I'm taking Texas in because I look at it like this: they defensive back, they front four on their defense, and they run it back and they quarterback, and they actually been in some close ball game in the SEC. So I look at it, the pressure ain't on them, the pressure gonna be on Ohio State. because I feel like Ohio State gonna come out there trying to do too much. And when you know we come out in a game trying to do too much, what usually happens? You start you lose the focus of the ball game. Your mental you start creating mental penalties that you normally don't correct and put your team in a bad situation.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I like Texas.
Um, I think for Texas, this is going to be the best offense they've seen all season, which is going to make this the toughest game. Up until tonight, Georgia was their toughest game. We were out. We were their toughest opponent. But that Texas defense has not seen an offense like what they're going to see tonight. So they're going to have to play their best game. Same thing goes for Ohio State. That Ohio State offense, as great as they were in their Rose Bowl, they got to be even better tonight. As great as they were against Tennessee, they got to be even better tonight because that Texas defense is no joke. I'm telling you, what they did to my Georgia Bulldogs, they are no joke. And also Ohio State, that defensive coordinator, keep your eye on the Arch factor. They could bring Arch in tonight. This feels like one of those times where Sark is going to let Arch on out the cage, and he's going to unleash Arch Manning. So that could factor in as well. So I'm picking the Buckeyes, but raise. I'm picking the Buckeyes. I'm not very, very confident about it because they have not played a defense like this. They have not played a physical, tough, experienced defense like what they're going to see tonight. But I am going to roll with the Buckeyes because right now they're playing the best football out of all the teams left in the playoffs. So that's my pick there. I'm picking the Buckeyes. The truth is picking the Texas.
Longhorn.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. So let's start with you, D True. Give your final thoughts, brother. I know you just gonna be just like me. You're gonna have that remote. He gonna be good. Smackdown game. Smackdown game. Give me your final thoughts, brother.
You know what it is, and I think later tonight I'm gonna have a show about 12 or something like that, and y'all could jump me over my channel, and we got some situation we got to talk about. So news, so we got to talk about it and see how y'all feel about it. I did the sports show, but hey, y'all stay safe. Let's say love, respect yourself, cause we love, respect yourself. You can see through all the BS, self love the best love. Hey, love yourself, please. Because some of us out here, some of us out don't love ourselves, and we don't love ourselves. We don't love our family. When we don't love ourselves, we don't love. Some parents do not love their kids, especially when they don't love themselves. And you gotta understand, if we your parent, yourself, what you need comes last. Your kids, what they need, and and you take care of them, they come first. So parents, stop trying to put yourself before your kids. Hey, like I said, stay safe and have a great night. Hey, y'all ready for some football? Let's play. Let's go.
All right. Well, he said a mouthful there. Hey, brother, make sure you drop your link in the chat. Drop your link in the chat real quick.
I
Everyone,
will.
want to thank you all for coming out and joining us for this pregame show. The road to Atlanta. It for this weekend. It started in Miami last night in the Miami Gardens, and it's continuing tonight in Arlington, Texas. Ohio State, Texas. This is going to be a epic battle. Two blue bloods battling for a spot in the national championship game. Although my Georgia Bulldogs are eliminated, I'm a college football fan. I love football, and my eyes are going to be glued to this game because it's going to be very intriguing. To me, in my opinion, the best offense in the nation going up against one of the best defenses in the nation. So something got to give. Something got to give. Probably the best defense in the nation, that Texas Longhorn defense. So something has to give. So everyone, thank you all for coming out and joining us here on the road to Atlanta. For my co-host D Truth and myself, Armando Black, thank you all. Once again, for those of you out in the California area, we're praying for you. We're praying for you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Please be safe out there. And as far as for everyone here in the Southeast area that's snowed in, iced in, such as myself and D True, please be safe. Don't get out there and try to drive tonight. See, this is the most dangerous part of this kind of weather, because you're driving on slick roads and that black ice at nighttime that you can't see, and you end up, spinning and end up in somebody's living room or in a ditch somewhere. So please be safe. If you don't have to go anywhere, it's not an emergency. Please stay at home, spend time with your family. These are one of them nights that you could, bond with your family. Spend time with your family, watch a movie, play Scrabble. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, turn on the college football playoff game and enjoy some college football tonight, or watch SmackDown together. Either way, watch a Tubi movie or a Netflix movie. Do something together, but stay at home. Stay off of those icy roads. Everyone, thank you all for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we put some content out over here on this channel. Also, make sure you sub up to D Troop. He's dropped his link in the chat. We're going to be live over there. We're going to do a midnight special tonight over there. If you enjoy hearing us talk sports, you would definitely love us when we discuss some real life topics, some grown folks topics over there on D Truth's channel tonight. So everyone, thank you all for coming out. I'm Armando Black, and like I always say, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And one last thing, no matter what, forever and always, it's always gonna be, even though my team ain't playing tonight or won't be playing on the 20th, but it's always, go Dogs, sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. May the best team win tonight. Salute to you, everyone.